when we're looking at these proofs, okay, the first thing that we want to look at is this stuff up here at the top, because that's going to give us, that's too small. That's going to give us this and this. So that'll give us our first and our last statements. Okay, so our first statement would be the 3x plus 1. And the reasoning behind that would be this. That's given to us. Okay, so now let's look at that equation. If we were to solve for x, what would be the first thing that we would do? So if you want to, you can write it over here. Some people find this helpful if you actually solve it over here. So what would be our first step? If we want to get the 3x by itself, what do we need to move? Subtract 1, right? So we subtract 1 from both sides. Now, this right here, your answer, becomes your next step. Okay, so your next step is this. And what did we do to get to that step? Subtract. Good. So it's going to be the subtraction property. Okay. Now the next step in solving that equation over there on the right would be to do what? To get x by itself, we have to divide by, good. Okay, so when we get that, we get x equals -5, which if you look, is this up here. So that's one way to check. And what did we do to get to that? Good. I'm just going to put prop. Just know that it's property, just for the sake of saving time. Questions about that one? Okay. I'll go down here to 2. All right. So remember, we're going to take this given. That's going to be in our first box. And that is because it's given. All right. So now let's rewrite our equation over here. Okay. First step would be to do what? Distribute. Good. So you're going to distribute the 2. So then we have to find out what it would be to write our next time. So you have 2x minus 18. Questions about how we got to that? Good? Good. So then that would go on the next line. And you said we distributed. Okay. From there, if you look back over here, we're going to add 18 to both sides. Get 2x equals 8. That'll be your next step. That would be addition property. And then to finish, we would do what? Divide by 2. Good. So we would get x equal to 4. That's going to go here. Okay. And we did division. So you'll realize that this is kind of annoying because all you're really doing is solving the equation, right? So as long as you can solve the equation, you can do these because you're just telling me what you did, right? So if you look over here on the right, we distributed, so it's distributive property. distributive property. So the distributive property is this right here, Amir, where we have the 2 on the outside of the parentheses. And then you take the 2 and you multiply it to the x, and then you multiply it to the 9. Do you remember that from algebra? Yep. Okay. So that's all we're doing. Is the easiest way to do it is to do this over here on the side where you solve the equation and then go back through and write your steps. Now, you may see 1 or 2 questions on the test about this, which is why we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. But I can't drink coffee. I can't get into it. Well, what do you get? Oh, yeah, so you're not even getting coffee. It's just a slushy. All right. So if we look at this, okay, the first step would be to get that fraction by itself, right? Yeah, there's one over by the bowling alley, and then the other one is out here by Yamato. Mm-hmm. So if we look at that equation over there on the right, we want to get the fraction by itself. So what should we move first? Good. So you're going to subtract 10. Yep. That's going to be negative 11. So that's going to be your next one. And we did subtraction. Okay. Now, last step, how do we get rid of a fraction? We have to multiply by the what? You remember what that's called? Starts with a D. Good. So those would cancel out. Boom, boom. You'd have M equals negative 11 times negative 3. Look at you with your mental math. Impressive. And we did what? Multiplied? If you just want to do mult prop, you can abbreviate stuff. I'll know what you're talking about. Okay, let's go down to 4. So remember this given. Oh, shoot. This given is going to go down into that first box. So you'll write your equation. And then your reason would be given. Okay. So then we'll come over here and we'll write the equation. Okay, we need to get rid of the denominator. So first step would be what? Multiply by 2. Right? Okay. So you're going to have this. Good. So that's your next step. And that's going to be because of multiplication. Then from there, you're going to want to move the 1. That's going to be addition, prop. And then your last one would be get the y by itself. Also, if you want to shorthand it, you could do like F prop plus prop. I would accept that also, if that's easier for you to do. Biggest thing is just make sure when you get to the finish line that this matches this. Okay. Now, there's 4 on the back. I just want you guys to do 2 of them. I don't care which ones you do. Just try 2 of them. Those of you that are online, try 2 of them. Submit a picture of them for me, and then you'll be good to go. All right?